Waiting for the players to choose their spawn positions here.
So who would you recommend the players spawn on the island or in the water first?
I personally like doing it right on the edge, so I'll get like one of the metals, and then my first factory is still going to be a navy factory, but I'll be close enough so that I can take the land metal with my commander without having him to move anywhere.
Uh,
Apparently, probably best to be right on the edge, depending on if you want your first factory to be a bot factory or a navy.
yeah. So North spawn there, Belladar. In yellow, going for naval first.
Both going. Yeah, see, this is kind of what I do as Zaphys. And you don't really want to kill as much of that forest because you want to be able to reclaim that. It's pretty going bot factory, which apparently neither of these players are actually doing. So I guess eventually they may reclaim this metal.
Yeah, the combat fibers are quite useful, and there's the islands as well, which have the odd tree on. Double naval spawn from Belladar. Probably going to be aggressively pushing for the all the T2 mech, not T2 mechs, just mechs in the large ocean there, because there's quite a lot to fight over. An air factory, interestingly, from Zaphys. Now, interestingly, what I tend to do, well, what I have done in the past, and it worked a real treat, was get up a bot factory and a pelican. I mean, it's a little bit unnecessary, I know, but I then send over and get a base up on these islands here. And if you can do that, then you can block torpedoes because of the elevation of the land, and you can hunker down with AA and then put up a few factories, and you've got a real good staging post there with 6 mechs. I mean, Zaphys here is choosing to do it with an air fabber rather than a pelican and bot fabber, but it's all the same thing, I suppose.
Yeah, that is a very strong strategy. Definitely, getting some turrets up here makes it a very annoying place to go, and then you can even into this middle 6 metal here after you get this.
Yeah.
Makes this whole area unpassable.
The only problem with this
Zaphys
6 metal, though, is pelters from here if you don't control those.
been in a situation where that's. But yeah, definitely you can. There, but he will be pushed back. Air fabber. Find another location to expand to. Belladar is still a little bit behind in many directions. Because if Zaphys can scout this air fabber, it's very close. I don't think he will. He'll miss it though.
Oh dear.
He'll fly away or if he'll check it again. Oh, no, he doesn't get it.
Oh, he does see it! He
Ah.
just manages to get it, and the metal didn't even get finished either. Ouch.
Yeah.
However, the
Belladar tried to
piranha...
snipe this one.
Yeah.
Belladar had not tried to snipe this, he wouldn't have given away his position. Definitely worst case scenario for him. Snipe, maybe?
Just, yes. Good shot. But you have the naval fabricators now pushing out from Zaphys, taking a few mechs there. What I tend to find is quite strong is pushing out with walls and AA and torpedo launchers around the back, because there's a lot of dense metal, and especially in the water it's really difficult to tell where ranges are and stuff, so you can really exploit that to your advantage by aggressively pushing with torpedoes and AA, especially with adequate naval support.
Zaphys is continuing to expand in the middle here. Slowly kind of taking the map little by little. Belladar looks like he kind of stopped expanding a little bit. He's got a AFK fabber over here. Starts taking out this 6 metal. He can definitely more navy coming out from yellow.
Mm. This is the sort of time in this sort of game where on Pacific, especially, I tend to get just one fabricator building T2 naval and just have it building up over time. And then, depending on whether I scout an enemy's T2 naval, I then put more build power onto it as required. I mean,
I'm not quite sure which version is better. Either just trying to put everything you have into your tier 2 and get it out as soon as possible, or just kind of investing in it a little bit at a time.
well, I think in this scenario, investing in it a little bit at a time would be better for the. Well, I suppose it depends on what you want to do. If you want to maintain your pushes and your eco that you have, and maintain map control with a naval presence, then you don't want to put too much on it because it might sacrifice your production from your other factories. If you can support it, then by all means put more fabricators on it. But if you can't, then one or two is okay. But I mean, with the speed that naval is, you can afford to lose a little bit of ground to get the T2 out if your opponent hasn't quite got there yet, because then you can push it back while they're getting up their T2, and then it sort of balances itself out, if you see what I mean.
Start replenishing the fewer metal you have and advanced metal, and then
Yeah.
Zaphys is still just taking over this island little by little here. Bunch of fighters protecting his air fabric.
The novels are approaching though. Might need to get up a pelter or two in the middle of the island there.
And some of his own ships down there to defend it.
Yeah.
He probably will be able to get in range here, but Belladar is taking this metal unopposed here. Doesn't send units here eventually, then himself in a nice metal lead.
Yeah. And if he gets up a couple of factories there as well, as I said earlier, that's going to be an incredibly strong position. But I feel as though Zaphys, again, he sent a bunch of naval over there, which just got killed because they went sort of offside, as it were. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I find on naval games, if you push too early, it's a waste of a push, because your opponent's going to have the ability to defend it.
Yeah, especially with the way naval works, it helps to have just a lot. Just wait until all your units are kind of together and they can all attack at the same time. It's very important, especially because everything's so slow.
Yeah. Gives your opponent response times to be able to do stuff, given the movement speed and the ability to scout. But the narwhals there, the bombers just can't get close to narwhals. You have to bring in the naval to take out narwhals, because bombers, unless you have a good number of them, they just can't get close to narwhals.
Belladar, looking at Belladar's vision right now, and he will hopefully take out all this metal in the middle. I don't realize it was there until about now, but he should be able to pass right by Zaphys' army.
Yeah.
Definitely do a lot of damage to this metal in the back.
MVP sub. I fear as though Zaphys is stretching his forces a little bit too thinly here, especially given that we've got a significant number of orcas here that can push in and do a lot of damage, because we really don't have all that much in the way of orcas for defence, although it wouldn't be too difficult to put up a whole bunch of those in your naval factories as a priority queue.
Certainly, and now Belladar has turned this game around officially. He's now like ahead. Keeps denying metal again, and yeah, this force over here just hasn't really done much. Just kind of sat there. It might get some metal now, which is nice. Didn't help defend against this navy force over here, so it took out all of his metal in the middle of the map.
Yeah. Again, this naval force here that's pushing in is just not good enough to make a dent. I mean, yes, he's taken out those 3 mechs, but he's going to lose these ships pretty soon. And then it's going to be really easy for Belladar to take those 3 mechs. And because Zaphys doesn't have a follow-up naval force, it doesn't really mean anything, because the metal will have paid for itself by the time he gets another force there.
He was trading pretty well there at the end, saw him take out a couple fabbers and some. Eventually it was cost effective, but... 'cause, 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 ' Now this middle expansion area for orange is going to be pressured by yellow. Orange is moving his commander in, maybe to deny some of this pushes. Actually, the orcas can't actually attack the commander, so it's really only these two ships here in the middle. So it should be pretty easy for him to out. Pretty sure that's still true. I don't think they changed that.
Yeah, no, I think orcas are above the water level only. However, the commander's head is poking out just a little bit. The orcas might be able to shoot at it. No, he's too far under.
Like it. Yeah, this is going to be really good engagement. He's got to focus that.
That sub, yeah.
But yellow, this expansion area over here has not been harassed at all. So if he just sent this little navy force over here to start, off, he could get. Belladar does still have a slight lead. It's definitely nothing insurmountable, but it is a start to winning this game.
Yeah, and he's starting to get the air game back as well, as he's got a lot of interceptors. I think it's now the sort of time that both players want to possibly be starting thinking about T2 Navy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. As long as, I think once they increase their income a little bit more. Right now they have a good amount of production for their income. It's probably best to start new production before you can even go. And the Tier 2 Navy is coming down from Belladar.
None yet from Zaphys, but he doesn't really have any naval fabricators that are in the right place. They all seem to be sort of dotted around. Although this is quite a good naval presence he has here now. He is pushing it again a little bit too prematurely, I feel, with his forward force of subs and orcas.
Yeah, I think he should clump up here. Wait for this back force to catch up and then just attack together. But it's going to be a while before this Tier 2 actually can pay off investment into it, so Zaphys does have a little window here where he might be able to.
And he has scouted it, that's the important bit.
Still, just this over here is just being.
Yeah, that's a real good income there for Belladar. And now he's getting up some naval factories over there as well, and if he can then surprise on that flank with a whole bunch of orcas and possibly narwhals as well, then Zaphys is going to be in a bit of a corner. And without T2 naval or air superiority, he's going to really struggle to pull it back.
Yeah, it's definitely. Let's look at the army counts here. Pretty even, almost 60 units to 46. So definitely Zaphys is behind, but it's not over yet. I think he's finally sending this navy force over here to deny this, and this should do a lot of damage. There's really not going to be anything ships here in time to prevent this from happening. So if he just goes straight over there, which doesn't really look like he's doing, just go straight. This. Oh, and instead they're engaging. Really don't need to do this right now.
Yeah, that's just going to be another throwaway of units. I mean, that's the thing with these naval maps, you just can't push in until you have critical mass, because otherwise you just won't do lasting damage. You need to be able to do lasting damage rather than just losing your forces to do stuff which can be repaired before a follow-up force can go in.
Yeah, this had a lot of potential to do damage, but you just kind of didn't take the right path, and actually Yellow's units caught up, although they're turning around, so he might even still be able to take out a lot of this metal, as long as he can get rid of this narwhal here.
Yeah.
Before these orcas and everything dies. Yeah, he might. He didn't keep following in the pursuit, so this might still do a lot of damage.
There's still the torpedo launcher on the other side of the island, but this is the thing here, is that's now firing into the island. I'm not sure, I think orcas, if they get close enough, can shoot at it. But this is where you'd need the torpedo launcher on the other side as well, and then it just becomes a real nuisance to try and deal with.
It's a very unfortunate placement for him.
But it was firing at the commander on the other direction though, so Zaphys' commander took a bit of damage there, down to 72%. Having engaged with the narwhal and submarine earlier on.
Tier 2 is almost complete, so Belladar has suffered the storm without taking too much damage. He's still ahead in income, so that was really the big window of vulnerability he had, was when Tier 2 is still being made. Sinking a lot of money into it, but it hasn't actually done anything yet. But now he's getting his first advanced fabber out, so hopefully he'll start retaking some advanced metal extractors.
But he has lost that metal now, because he's lost this whole central bit here. But a couple of subs moving in with some orcas. That commander wants to get back underwater as soon as possible, otherwise he's going to take a fair bit of damage here. Oh, this is going to work out favourably for Belladar as well. Oh, that's not great.
Push off that sub and yeah, all the orcas can't do anything against the commander anymore. They don't have torpedoes. But he's got to be careful though. There's more reinforcing units coming over here from Belladar.
Yeah, that
Looks like he's not backing out. Yeah, this might be it.
And because he really isn't making enough pushes to take, to try and get rid of Zaphys' power. Like, there's a whole ring of power here that's just free for the taking, and a few max points there. And if he can't really do anything about the T2, it's just going to really start snowballing away from him. Because he doesn't have the unit count now either. I mean, 43 to 66, although probably about 27 or so of that is fighters. So I suppose they're still relatively even on the naval front, actually. But Zaphys' units are just sort of here, there, and everywhere, rather than together where they need to be.
Yeah, and here we go. This might be the end for this orange commander here. There's still 2 more torpedo-producing subs, and even if he survives this...
No, it's gone.
That's it. Hey, it goes up 1-1.
GG.
Gotta go to a game 3. That's it.
Yeah, if the orange commander can put up a few walls, I think he might just be about safe. But as we enter the fisticuffs range and territory, I think we're going to see a lot of uber cannons popping off, and some hasty retreats from the orange player here.
Uh-oh, but he's getting more and more out of position.
Once again,
Red's reinforcements are faster. Here we go. I think this might even be game. I don't know how he can get back out of here. All of his tanks are on the other side of the map.
he's desperately trying to put up walls, but he needs to move behind them. Oh dear.
Once again, he's being a little suicidal here.
He's just thrown it away. Oh, and the boombots come in to finish it! Oh!
That's gonna be it.
That sealed the deal right there.
Alright,
Wow.
we'll make it to the finals.